Hey guys, KJ here. In this video, we'll be focusing on both Destiny 3 and Penumbra leaks, which have been making some waves, reviewing the information, and not surprisingly, it has created a lot of discussions and hype. So let's look at the most exciting and the most important information you need to know. So firstly, this was posted by Anon the 9 and Shadow of Anon the 9. But why would we believe these supposed leaks? Well, Anon the 9's information has been proven correct for Joker's Wild and Forsaken in the past, so this information can be reliable. I do believe that they might have some direct or indirect contact with Bungie, as they could release this information themselves, but I don't think that it would be as impactful as it has done coming from Anon. So a few days ago, Shadow of the Anon the 9 posted on Reddit that Bungie asked Anon to lay low, which I do get, as you don't want to leak too many secrets. However, we give invaluable feedback, hype, or express our dislike as a community. These gold nuggets of information, we go crazy for them, and this is a great way for Bungie understanding what we as a community would want. We have learned that Calus is having a major presence within the story of Penumbra, and we are returning to the Savathun once again, this time to discover the source of its power, which Shadow of the Anon the 9 said that we'll get our first tease of the Darkness enemy, which is to come in Destiny 3. I'll talk more about the new enemy and my thoughts on who could be the main boss given from the information later on in this video. It has been confirmed that we'll see the return of the Hawkmoon hand cannon and the Dark Drinker's sword from Destiny 1, along with a new weapon, the Rose in Penumbra. But what really caught my eye is the new pinnacle activity, which I'm speculating it could be based in the heart of Savathun, as Calus could play a part in it. This new game mode blends a mixture of puzzle solving and wave-based combat, so this sounds to me a mixture of Escalation Protocol and Reckoning with Escape the Room concept. I hope to see a mixture of puzzles are randomly selected for each game, as if it's the same puzzles time after time, it would become tedious. There isn't much more about the story or details for Penumbra, but I would like to see more storyboarding and our allegiance played against with the Drifter and the Vanguard coming more apparent. So let's now move on and talk about the details Shadow of the Anon specified on what we're going to be expecting in Destiny 3. The first thing I want to start with is the new PvPvE open world areas, as this is an interesting approach on the PvP side of Destiny, and to be honest, I really like this concept. When I started playing Destiny, the only PvP game mode everyone knew about was Trials of the Nine and Trials of Osiris. At the time, I wasn't much of a PvP player, so that put me off. So adding a PvPvE area can actually work within Destiny if they are merged correctly. If you look back at the start of Destiny, PvE and PvP were known as two different categories, so this is a clever way of marrying the two. This then leads me on to the direction of Destiny 3. Shadow of the Anon advised that D3 is catering more for hardcore audience, which doesn't mean all sweaties, but just to appeal to players who want to invest a lot of time into a game to get the end result or loot, which hopefully doesn't mean that all will be completed within 12 hours straight. I hope Bungie will have a good balance of story mode, open worlds, quests, PvP styles, but at the same time something to get your teeth into and really give it a go, bearing in mind on having that balance for casual gamers who want to return to Destiny and not run away. Destiny 1 and 2 are more for pick up and play type of games, especially where Destiny 2 is at the moment, as there is so much to do and power engrams to collect. If you have a spare hour or two, you can just log in, do some dailies, play a bit of Gambit, speedrun a Nightfall a few times and you're done. Yes, it brings back players, but not the hardcore gamers who really want to be captivated, engrossed and entertained during the grind. I am skeptical if they will get the balance balance right on what we want, as going from the past Warmind wasn't very fulfilling, and neither was Curse of Osiris, which was the worst expansion made and was a huge letdown. Now, Bungie being on their own, I hope they make the right choice, and my question is, will they deliver? With Destiny 3, we've learned that we're travelling to new locations, the old Chicago, Europa, and returning to Venus, the very green planet and where the Vex populated in Destiny 1. Could this be the home of the taken Vex mind Quera who spun the time loop upon the Dreaming City? Now let's talk about the new enemy race we've learned from Shadow of Anon the 9, and let's face it, I was getting a bit bored of the Fallen, Cabal and Taken, and the Scorn was just a vamped up version of the Fallen for Forsaken. However, these new Astro Demons called the Veil sounds very intriguing. They are described in a lore entry by Ada, one's mother within the Black Armory, that these Astro Demons has dark greenish skin, sharp claws, and having a distinct stench of wet earth. Also worth knowing that the Veil are the true servants of the darkness, which are on equal power to us Guardians. To be honest, I'm hoping they'll be slightly stronger, just to make it more of a challenge and will appeal to the hardcore players. Well, what we've learned that the Veil originate from the collapse, and their god was slain in a conflict with the light. Since then, the Veil Wraith has been laying in wait for the Traveller to reawaken, so they can siphon its power to resurrect their god. I believe that the Veil could be on board those pyramid ships when the Traveller's light pulsed through the system, and a picture of these ships have reappeared as a hologram within Queen Mara's court. There have been rumours that we may encounter Aphelions, but this has yet to be confirmed. But it could be that these new Astro Demons have been encountered before by the Awoken, and they could be one of the same. We have possibly encountered somewhat part of the Veil or material it may have used within the Stolen Intelligence lore entry fragment inputted by Ikora. She noted that she found a thrall frozen, so she killed it and inspected the body. She saw a solid black fragment of an unknown material embedded in its chest. When she asked her ghost to transport it to her jump ship, he was unable to establish a light link, describing the fragment as slippery and tiring to try and catch hold of it. So she picked up the fragment by hand and immediately experienced a vivid hallucination of a guardian attending a rune to Eris Morn. Ikora saw hundreds of these fragments hanging in the air like shrapnel parts of a wrecked ship. So could the solid fragment be part of the ship or the Veil themselves? And will we see the return of Eris Morn? So how are we going to defeat these true servants of the darkness? Well, it has been confirmed that we Guardians will have a darkness-based abilities added, which I would love to see a negative mirror version of us. But in a way, we already use darkness-based abilities, which are our void subclasses, so it could be more of a darker version on our void abilities or something completely different. But we have yet to receive any information if there will be any changes or additions to our current subclasses. So who could be the main big bad boss within Penumbra and Destiny 3? Well, I have a few theories, and one of them could be Savathun and the Worm Gods. As we know from the information, the new Penumbra activity codename is Dragon Slayer, but we've killed the last Ahamkara. So I believe they could be referring to the worm god Yule, who describes himself as dragon-like within the worm god lore, reminding ourselves of the Forsaken storyline for just a sec and the curse cycles. Savathun befriended Ribbon of 1,000 Voices and took her to the Ascendant Plane, hence Petra's comment that she has been taken. Savathun's plan was to corrupt the Awoken and launch an attack upon the Dreaming City, manipulating Aldrin Sov and his barons to open the gateway. However, Asgardians got there first and slain Ribbon, then unleashing the curse. Now with the endless killing cycle and possibly charging up Savathun's murder battery, which has been described in great detail in one of My Name Is Bife video. If you've yet to see it, I will add the link in my description below. So maybe one way or another Savathun will make her entrance, as she could find a way to transcend into existence, or we face her within her harmony black hole where she currently is. All we know that the veil is going to be a big problem and will be a huge factor to come. Now they could be heading their way upon those pyramid ships towards the Traveller to bring back their dead god, but who could that be? To answers for this question, I will leave you a snippet of the lore entry found on the exotic helmet Nezarec Sin, and let me know if you draw to the same conclusion as I have. He is that which is end, that which covets sin, the final god of pain, the purest light, the darkest hour, and he shall rise again. When the guiding shrine fades and all seems lost, he will call to you. Fear not, all he offers is not as dark as it may seem, for Nezarec is no demon, but a fiend, arch and vile of ways unknown. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, then please let me know by hitting that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for further content. Anyway, that is it from me, so take care guys, bye bye.